you were able to, or actually I wanted to ask if with your, not direct lineups, but you kind of intimated a little bit that like Moskovsky, playing well, getting another start, obviously played well again. How do you kind of look at the balancing, getting your designated players back, but the other players filling in just as good?
It's my job to win games. It's the players' job to play to their potential and make those choices hard for me. It's just about as easy as that. So Masowski has made it challenging for me. The team has had two gritty, gutty performances. Different, completely different from away at Dallas and home. And there will be some tough choices this week.
If Masowski was able against San Diego, do you think that outcome would have been different?
Well, it's hard to say, Jada. I mean, the team didn't play well, maybe. Maybe. That's hard to say.
When you look back at the game today, is there anything that stands out that you're particularly proud of that performance against Nashville?
Yeah, the effort that the guys put in. Their connection with the fans was good because of their effort. You kind of got momentum, the 3 goals in quick succession. Because we didn't start off great. Talked about that. Was there some tactical things that we could have done better? Was it just the technical piece of, loose, giving balls away, loose touches? But once we got rolling, they were into it. And, there was a couple sequences where we didn't score, but guys were tackling and running and chasing and fighting. And, one of them ended with Obed's yellow card. But that sequence, you watch that sequence again, guys are putting it in. They're competing.
Brian, you mentioned that on Saturday that Nuhu's first 9 minutes were shaky. Were you able to identify what 12? I apologize. 12 minutes were shaky. Were you able to identify it through film study to help him fix those issues? Or?
Well, you saw me. I'm gonna have a conversation with him in my office. We'll get to the bottom of it. Look. Every player, every team, there's highs and lows, those momentum changes, shifts. It's just part of our sport. We'll figure it out. He's easy to manage.
After watching the film, when you look at what Kim Ki-hee has been able to do for the last game and a half, how has he been able to integrate just so quickly and easily into that back line?
He's an experienced player. He's been here for, the challenge for me with Ryan Kent versus Kim Ki-hee, you could look at that. So Kim Ki-hee came here, we had to wait for things, he had a little calf issue, but he had like 5 good weeks, solid weeks of training under his belt, where Kent only had like 1.5 maybe, because he went to Vancouver for his visa. The first week was kind of just touch points. So he was prepared for his opportunity. That's why I was trying to pump the brakes a little bit on Ryan Kent, although he did pretty good. But Kim was fantastic.
And then getting Albert and Jordan and Alex off the bench, how did they make it through their game, and where do they stand now?
They're fine. They're totally fine, and there's going to be some tough choices.
Is it with that? Is it important to get Kent minutes on the field?
Well, he's got to earn the minutes.
Is it earned first and then?
Yeah, he's got to earn. Paul Rothrock's goal was a well-taken goal, because that ball, look, it was a great pass by Jesus, the vision that Jesus had, the run in behind and everything. But that ball kind of skipped up to him, the technical piece to touch and hit in quick, with quick feet. A lot of guys might have stopped, waited, delayed, maybe the defender blocks it. It was a good goal.
Steph mentioned that part of what he appreciates about Kim is that there's a simplicity to his game, and there's a straightforwardness to his game in terms of he's a defender first, and everything else kind of flows from there. What do you see in him, and how useful is that to just have a player like that who's not trying to do too much?
Well, soccer is a simple game in many, many instances. You could say that about a lot of things. Certainly there's pizzazz and there's technical ability like Paul and Kent and Jordan's speed. There's all sorts of facets to the game. But one of the things that I think Kim possesses is just his calmness. You might call that simple, but just he makes things look easy. He just plays. Now, when he ran 10 yards to tackle Mukhtar for the yellow, Was that the best play? No, but I liked his intention. So he's got a little bite to him as well as being, calm and steady, like Steph says.
Ryan, speaking to what you just spoke to about, Ryan, is that something that from a coaching standpoint you can harness and then help some of the players that are willing to learn how to acquire those particular traits, or is that something that has to come within them and reaching out to Ryan?
You mean like Ryan Kent and all the? He's got enough experience. I don't think I have to coach much in his game. Just got to guide him a little bit within our structure. But Ryan is a good player, and he's going to see the field eventually, and he's going to push for starting minutes. He's got some of that veteran savvy. I mean, he's 27 years old, 28 years old. He's in the prime of his career.
Even before this game, Ferreira just mentioned that it feels like him and Pedro just coexist a lot easier than him and Albert because of their styles of play. How do you feel like?
No, he didn't.
No, he said that. He said because one's a runner, one's a passer. Paraphrasing here, but when you took Pedro out and you saw Albert and Ferreira, what do you feel like that was like in that second half?
Fun. They were totally fun. And I thought Albert ran in behind a couple times. Albert's obviously very clean, very good on the ball, good passer. I mean, at some point we're going to try and get all the talented guys on the field at the same time, so they might have to play with each other.
You're talking about competition, so where does Georgie kind of fit in that too? You've got a lot of talented kind of winger players.
Well, Georgie is a tremendous talent. He will be a good MLS player with a high ceiling, and he'll have to compete for minutes. It's just like everybody else.
And on a similar note, when you're deciding who to send down, I guess, for lack of a better term, to Defiance especially for a game like Portland, how do you make that decision, and how much does the opponent actually play into that decision?
We make. There's a lot of people that are on a committee where we talk about the development. Wade is running it. Craig, Andy, Tommy, goalkeepers. I mean, we have a lot of input. Craig has, input. We all kind of share ideas about the plan and who needs minutes and who doesn't. So Georgie and Reed and Travion are playing this week, and they'll be back for maybe getting on a plane for Colorado. And, it's kind of just a moving target. We try and do the best we can to get the necessary minutes against the right opponents. I would have loved to see Cody play against Portland. Would have been nice. So maybe now Reed gets to play those minutes. You never know.
You're usually careful about not being too reactive on a win or a loss or a moment. But, did it feel like this was a statement win by your team and that might be able to switch the momentum, and you carried that into Colorado?
Yeah, wins and losses are a little bit different for me. Yes, we're happy. We enjoy the moment. But for me, when the team plays well, that's the best barometer, because sometimes you're going to play well and not win. Sometimes you're not going to play well and win. So you got to kind of keep that in mind when you say, is that a statement win? I would have loved to play a little bit better in smaller parts of the game, but we won 3-0. So there you go.